1930 Gibson L2 from my buddy Tim in the neighborhood. This is granddad's guitar, and he got it. Well, I checked with Groom Guitars, and they said this was manufactured April of 1930, and it is only one of 500 guitars. The problem with this guitar, when Tim brought it to me, was that it had frets that were all over the place. Their height varied greatly from as high as 48 thousandths of an inch all the way down to 33 thousandths of an inch. And the whole spectrum, that's a lot of numbers, but I've also got basically I did a 3D topology of this guitar. And if we look at it and play it, there's the 20th fret. The red dot is the highest fret we just talked about, and the blue dot is the lowest. So this whole range is what is the problem with this guitar before I worked on it. And when you see it in a 3D manner, you can really see where it's uneven. Now here's the fretboard now. It's all level at 33 thousandths of an inch, okay? So this really makes for a much more finely tuned instrument. With the frets level, we can now make the truss rod, which is a metal bar inside here, flat. And not many luthiers do this. They usually have some relief in the neck right around here. You can absolutely have a flat fingerboard, and this is as flat as I can make this with almost 100-year-old guitar, but there's very, very little relief, almost none. Very unusual, but aids your ability to play nice and light finger style. Very nice sounding instrument. With the fretboard taken care of. But that's not the only work that we needed to do on this. The next thing I work on is the nut slots. These were also really out of whack. This is not the original nut, but the slots were too high here, okay here, too low here, and close here. Once I took all that metal off, I was able to effectively get more nut to material to file down to the optimal levels for Tim's preferred style of playing. So truss rod adjustment, the nut slot, and then finally this really bizarre bridge, the saddle here. The saddle was glued in at the factory, Groom Guitars tells me. And so the only option to make this lower, which affects the action at the 12th fret, okay, is to file, since I can't take this out easily, I'd have to unglue this, too much work. I want to keep as much original as possible. Gibson had filed slots underneath these strings for a relatively high action because this was shipped as a Hawaiian model for slide guitar. Since we're playing fingerstyle and picking, I can file this down a little further, and that's what I did. So really, it's a precision instrument. Finally, I cleaned up all of the tuners, these original Waverly tuners, open back, and cleaned them up, exposed the Art Deco that was kind of corroded, tarnished in this silver. These are the original ivory, pearloid, whatever that material is. And then we have the original, the Gibson logo. They stopped doing this in 1932, I believe. So this is one of the last The Gibsons. The Court Jester inlay is really nice. The truss rod works great. And this has had a lot of love from Tim's grandfather, playing mostly cowboy chords and strumming really hard over here and strumming here. There's scratches here, the original pick guard. Also pretty interesting to see is the wear on those cowboy chord areas. You can see in this Brazilian rosewood the finger wear, that he loved his C chord. A lot of C chords in there. But you don't have to play down here. You can play up here very easily. So So it's quite a really wonderful instrument, and it's been a pleasure to work on, and I'm sure Tim's going to enjoy learning on it as well, and maybe he'll get another 100 years out of it.
Yeah. Thank you, Jeff.